Welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show. It's like sometimes you just need a little laugh, you know?
We got it, man.
We got it. That's the beauty of stuff. Just listening to that. I'll have to send you over something, Schlegs and Pat, from Charlie Murphy off Chappelle's show, which also made me laugh a lot because it was amazing. It was something I don't think that was ever aired, talking about Charlie and hanging out with his brother Eddie. And then they brought in Daryl Stingley and Jack Tatum and talking about Charlie Murphy saying he was going to flip Daryl Stingley out of his wheelchair and how we don't do that as a society. But, Charlie he's like, but I play by my own rules. It's amazing. So sometimes you just need a smile. You need a laugh. And hopefully Schlegg's just getting some good impersonations, makes you smile and makes you laugh. So we've got that. We've got a big game. We've got a beautiful day, by the way, beautiful weekend here in Columbus, Ohio. For it being the middle of November, some people say I'll be gone till November, January, February, March, April, May. It's going to be 60 degrees on Saturday, maybe a smattering of a shower here or there. But the boys from UCLA, they've got to be happy coming into Ohio State. You've got a night game. Nico Iamaleava, the last time he came here, it was night and it was cold. It was very cold. He left here with a cracked helmet or two. So some interesting stuff that he obviously had to deal with that. But they're taking on him again. And it's a unique task, Schlegs, because he's a very gifted human being physically. Like he is, I always joke with people and like, what does this mean? I'm like, guys, you get to high levels, and I've gotten a chance to play with some of the best. Calvin Johnson and Dominican Sue, Matt Stafford, Terrell Owens, DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten, Tom Brady. I mean, just loads and loads of Hall of Famers. Play with Nick in college. I mean, you just see all these guys. Gosh, I got to get a signed jersey of Matty Stafford too. I got all my Hall of Fame guys that I played with. I'll have to just get one of Nick from high school, college, because I didn't think, in college you never really envisioned somebody being in the NFL Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, but you play all these guys, and then there's some guys that are athletically Schlegs, as you know, they're just like kind of on another level. It's kind of how we talked about with Jeremiah Smith. And they've just been given things, they've been blessed with things. Now, what they choose to do with it, that's their option, that's their right. Maybe they go out and they grind and they squeeze every ounce of juice they can from that ability.
Yep.
Maybe they just kind of cruise and coast and, become as good as they could possibly be with that ability. But Nico Iamaleava, people can say whatever we want. We made a lot of comments and conversations about him and what happened at Tennessee, and was it him, his dad, his representatives, all of those different things. But I do know this. He is a guy that when he came into Ohio Stadium, Schlegs, he played really stinking hard.
Yeah, he did.
And he carried his team. There were a lot of dudes on Tennessee that were tapping out, that weren't going full go. You could see in the third and fourth quarter as that game got stretched, like there weren't guys leaning in. And Nico didn't ask to come out. He kept playing. He kept running. He kept fighting for yards. And so for that, I knew that he was made of the right stuff. But he's a big guy, very physical, this guy. Some would say maybe the most physical Schlegs you're going to find out there. Unbelievable. And since they made the change after week 3 with firing Deshaun Foster, as you've got a train going on back there behind
you. Hear that? You hear that train?
Oh, yeah.
Choo-choo, baby.
Yeah, Court used to live right against those tracks when she lived at the Meridian in college. I can hear it here at my house sometimes, but not through the microphone. But then they started winning games. They upset Penn State, Michigan State, Maryland, won 3 in a row. Got smacked by Indiana, of course, and played Nebraska pretty tough. But whenever you see a quarterback, Schlegs, who's the leading passer on your team, makes sense, but also the leading rusher on your team, you're thinking, okay, there's a little something to this guy. Nico Iamaleava, Schlegs. He is 6'6". He's 215 pounds. His strides are about 5 to 6 yards long when he gets in the open field. He's a physical guy. He's an experienced guy. And he's coming to the shoe again. And so what do you expect from this UCLA offense? Like, how do you utilize a guy like him? Because you muted yourself.
Did mute myself off because of the train. And I was just trying to be nice to everybody. If you go back and you look at that game, right, he was 14 of 31, less than 50%. I can even do that math. All right. For 104 yards. Rushed it 20 times for 47.
There's a lot of sacks in there, though, that took yards off.
Well, 100%, Bob, 100%. But the point is this, is they got after him and they tried to affect the quarterback and he kept going. So right there, to your point, you had some respect for him because regardless of the outcome of the game, in that game, 42-17, the dude played physical, right, as much as he can. Then you go to UCLA regardless, and they get a new coordinator, new Heisel. They got to kind of see a little bit of life into them. And they remember this is a team that got beat by New Mexico, the Fighting Lobos, the Fighting Lobos.
Did you play against New Mexico? I feel like you did.
I did. I played against New Mexico, and they lost.
Did you beat New Mexico?
Oh man, you got to remember. People forget this. Brian Urlacher, New Mexico Lobo, by the way, played safety there.
Yeah.
The best safety of all time in New Mexico history. Anyways, you lose to UNLV, you lose to Utah first right out the gate, you lose to New Mexico, boom, out, right? Then you lose to Northwestern, close game. Could have had that game.
When they played Northwestern, I thought that was going to be a battle for the lone conference win for both of those teams. Now,
yes,
they both have racked up a couple of them, and there's still some schools that haven't gotten any. With Penn State being one of them. But I was like, okay, when they beat them, UCLA might not win a conference game. They might not win a game all year. They lost their 3 non-cons, and you just lost to Northwestern. And Northwestern's been better than advertised this year, but coming in, Schlegs, I think a lot of people thought they would be the worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they go on the road. Or, excuse me, not on the road, but they have Penn State at home, and they win that one. Number 7 at the time, just lost to Oregon. And that was the one, right? Then Penn State lost to Northwestern at home. Poof, David Copperfield, firestorm. But I go back to, I say all this to say this. They're going to use them however they got to use them to move the chains. And that's what his responsibility is. And with a running quarterback, who's going to be that guy? Who's the spy guy? The thing that Ohio State has on their side is they got 2 guys that can run with anybody. We saw how they bottled up Damon Williams from Washington, and you see an open field tackle by a 6'4.5", 245-pound linebacker. Sonny is able to run sideline to sideline. They match them size for size. They're just a little bit bigger, right? Same height, but big, thick dudes. That's how UCLA is going to have to try to exploit this. And can he push the ball down the field? That will be the biggest question. Will he have enough time? Because like you said, Bob, in that Tennessee game, he had pressure on him all the time. If you can keep him in the pocket, will he be able to have time to make those throws or make somebody miss to be able to move the chains? That literally is everything that they can do. So what is Ohio State going to do in that? If they're running a bunch of crossers, if they're doing things, are they going to want to play a lot of man? Probably not. They're probably going to play more zone, more man within a zone and match those while also having a spy on the quarterback in some capacity.
Yeah, and so like you mentioned, the 2 guys that you have in Sonny and Arvell there, and their length and their athleticism, their ability to get to him, because he's a big dude. Yeah, it's not like Damon Williams from Washington.
No, tiny dude.
Yeah, like you get a hand on him, like you can wrap him up and get him to the ground. This guy, he'll run through you, and he may not be as quick, short range, but if you let him get building up, oh boy, he'll build up some speed on you in a hurry. I like this. Like, how do you like this comp? I would say he's a little better passer, but maybe not quite as thick because he was about 235 pounds. But he has a Vince Young feel to him in the pocket, if you remember. From playing Vince when, you tried to sack him and he pushed you to the side.
I was actually thinking, who's the guy? Oh, he played at Nevada.
Kaepernick?
That to me is who he reminds me of.
Yeah, but he's a big guy. I don't know if Kaepernick was quite as tall. I know him and Vince, Nico and Vince are both like, he's 6'6". I think Vince was 6'5". I don't know how tall Cap was.
Striders.
Yes. Long striders, guys that can gobble it up. And that's why, so when you attack these guys, here's what you do. There you go, 6'4" for Colin Kaepernick. So good, well done out of you, Pat. So so I would say that's another good comp. But you look at his passing yards throughout the season. Outside of his New Mexico game and Maryland, he has not cracked, UNLV. Only conference game he's thrown for 200 yards for was their win against Maryland. Yep. A lot of it's come with his legs. Some of the best games, obviously Penn State, 128 yards on the ground. Northwestern, 65 on the ground. 86 against Nebraska in that loss. And so they rely on him, man. He is the epicenter of their universe. They've got a couple of decent receivers, but there's a reason why he's the leading rusher, because they're going to expect him. They're going to zone read the heck out of it. And so doing that, Schlegs, what do you typically do? You like to run some chase games at the end. You predetermine things. You try to get some pressure, because what people do is zone read. It's the new age option. And the RPOs is they're going to react on what you do. And so if you're slowing and reading it, you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage. If you can declare it right away, this guy is this guy is that guy, that guy is that guy, then all of a sudden we're good. The problem is if one of those guys gets beat, then you're SOL. But that's the way to get after and to put those guys in positions where they can take the fight to the offense. Instead of them reading you, you are pressuring them to go make a play.
Yep. And when you look at them nationally ranked, I mean, they're 111th in passing yards per game. Points against, they're 112th. Like, they're going to give up stuff. And we're just really focusing on their offense right now. But defensively, to your point, Bob, when you have a running quarterback that is the only guy that can really move the chains for you, the faster you can declare that, the easier it is for that spy guy. If they're running a game up front, you have to know, like, if that end comes down and the tackle wraps, or I'm going to bring him inside, I'm going to flush him out this way. You'll see guys, like, that's why the linebacker cheats that way a little bit, because he knows, like, it has to come out this way. The cool thing for us is that those guys are so athletic and fast that they can read and react if it doesn't happen perfectly. But that's what you're seeing up front when they try to get pressure with 4. And Ohio State is the best in the country in getting pressure with 4. And so it's going to be, how do you contain Nico, who is their leading rusher, who just wants to move the chains? And that's what it's going to come down to defensively. Just doing what you do on the back end, playing very sound, and let your front 7 guys do what they do.
If you play well, I feel like if Ohio State goes out and executes well, they'll win the game.
Sure.
And the thing that UCLA gets a little bit of reprieve because it's not going to be cold. Like, that's the one thing. I thought it might be a little chilly. This would be a rough game for them, especially at night. But if you go back and look at the Nebraska game and look at this offense, like, they like to run a lot of crossers. They'll run some vertical stuff, some play action things, some RPO where they're going to try to put you in conflict. So I know Matty P, they're going to have some things ready for them and some different things that they like to do. But they're going to definitely challenge them in some big ways. But if you go back and look at the Nebraska game, Nebraska I define as a good team. They're 7-3. They're probably going to end up, I don't know if they get to full 9 wins. Maybe they can get to 9 with a bowl game. But they play good, fundamentally sound football. They're efficient on offense. They move the ball. They played against Nebraska. And I think this is a good game to kind of use as a window into what UCLA is, because neither team turned the football over, Schlegs. Both teams were above 50% on third down. They literally had the time of possession for 30 and 30. I've never seen that in my life where it's an even split. The penalties were fairly low. Both teams had 25 and 20 yards in penalties, so not a lot of penalties. Yards were fairly even, 361 to 348. Like, passing, neither team threw it real well. Neither team ran it, like, overly well. Like I said, mid 300s in total offense. And they lose the game 28-21. Like, that, I think, is peak UCLA. That's the best they can give you right there. No turnovers, converting on third down, possessing the football. Like, if they do that, they might be able to score 13 points on Ohio State. But I think Ohio State's defense is significantly better than Nebraska's.
Yes.
So they're going to probably not be in as good a spot on third down. And there's a big difference between being in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 3 on the conversion opportunities there. If they can force a turnover too, that's great. And also, this Ohio State team should be able to force some sacks. And that's the one thing they did against Nico last year, is they got after him when he was in the pocket. I can't remember how many sacks they had, but Nebraska had 3 sacks on Nico. I think this Ohio State defense, if they get 3 or more sacks, let's say 3+. Let's go 4 sacks. The Ohio State had 4 sacks on them last year. You do that again, you're putting them in long yardage situations.
Yes.
They're going to be very, very difficult to overcome.
Especially when you can't put the ball downfield, looking at our secondary and how they've been playing. And here's the other thing too, Bob. Guess where they're playing? Ohio Stadium. Guess where UCLA is? On the West Coast. Last time they traveled, right, they went to Indiana, 56-6. Indiana, a good football team. But again, we talk about the difference between the Big Ten and the SEC and the small travel corridor that they have in the Southeast Conference versus the breadth and the width and the girth that is the Big Ten. right? So now they got to come over here. What is that going to be? It does favor them a little bit that it is a night game, right? Versus a noon game. Because noon, you're starting at 9 o'clock your time. Bumpy. But still, they got to travel. How do they handle that? We saw what they did versus IU, and I'm not comparing it as to, Ohio State has to beat them 56-6 because we've seen the MO of Ohio State's team throughout this year. Let's just go play really good professional football. But it's going to start with, do they execute the game plan? That's it.
There you go, Schleiks. I love it. I love where your head's at. Big opportunity for the Buckeyes this week. That this defense, and like Ohio State, obviously 30-point favorite. We'll give our score predictions later. So they should win this game. But every week there's different things you can take out of this. And this week, what you're taking out of it is you're playing against an extremely athletic quarterback. He was one of the top recruits in the country. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest weapons downfield. Their passing game downfield isn't the greatest. But he's going to put some of your players in peril, and he's going to challenge them athletically in space. And so I'm excited to see how those guys, the safeties, Jalen, Caleb, Lorenzo, how they play, Arvell, Sonny at linebacker. Can they bottle them up, any of the corners, or even Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson, guys on the edge, what that ultimately looks like. All right, message from our friends at FanDuel, the NBA tip-off week. And FanDuel, it's your home for live betting. So if you miss the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel, they've got live bets on everything from who will cover the next, who will score next to the fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into an SGP. That's the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is now giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio, 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Dan Orlovsky made some big statements, and Dan's a friend of mine. We're going to break into that and his thoughts on Ohio State next.
Customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
All right. Welcome back to the Bobby Carpenter Show. And, I love my guy, Dan Orlovsky. We worked together at ESPN for 3 or 4 years. He's been up there for about a decade plus now since he's been done playing. Dan's a grinder. He watches a lot of film. He knows his stuff. He's as good as breaking down quarterbacks and offensive pass concepts as anyone I've ever seen. Does a great job of it. The one thing that's interesting, though, is you get in these talk shows and you might say some things that are a little bit outlandish. You get prone to hyperbole. And so he dropped out there that we can toss up that might be a little bit extreme. Dan Orlovsky and Ohio State. They're the least tested number 1 team in the history of college football. They've played nobody. Week 1, Texas. Ever since then, they haven't played anybody. I don't know if they've played a team that's been ranked now since Texas. He went on to say there's another nugget after that I don't know what they're made of if they're down 4 in the fourth quarter. With 4 minutes to go, like down 4 with like 4 minutes to go in the game. Now, the last part of it, I agree. They've never had that. They've never been down late. And so it's hard to judge somebody on what they're going to do in a critical situation when you've never seen it. You just have to go on past experiences and say, hey, Ryan Day's got teams prepared. Julian Sayin looks really good. We've seen him in 2-minute situations at the end of half, but we've never seen him at the end of a game situation where he had to win. Pat, here we go. Play the audio. You've got it. I read it over there. I'm sorry. Let's listen to it straight from the horse's mouth.
The least tested number 1 team in the history of college football. They played nobody. Week 1, Texas. Ever since then, they haven't played anybody. I don't know if they played a team that's ranked right now since Texas. Everyone talks. They have been trailing for 1 second in the second half this year. We have no idea who this Ohio State team, very good team, quarterback's a really good player. Jeremiah Smith's best player in college football. We have no idea who Ohio State is, like down 4 in the fourth quarter. Josh, no idea.
So the last part of that, Schleggs, I don't disagree with. Like, and he's complimentary. He talks about how good Julian Sain is, how good Jeremiah Smith is, best player in college football. But you don't know that. The problem that I have is saying they're the least tested team in the history of college football, number one team. Like, there have been a lot of teams that have been up at the top come week 10 that you haven't really watched them play anybody. That's my problem.
Yeah. And you can't help the schedule that you got. You tried to put on the best matchup you could at Texas, and they're ranked, 10th right now, right, Bob?
Yeah.
And Washington was right there on the cusp. And that's why I don't like the rate, like, oh, they beat this ranked team, because I went back to my example with even USF the other day, right? So they beat a 25 ranked Boise. They beat I think at the time, a number 8 ranked Florida. Then they lost to a number 5 ranked Miami. And it's like, yeah, they beat the teams on the schedule. And Ohio State has done that. And he said they haven't trailed. Like the most recent time, Purdue was winning going into the second quarter. And then that Washington game, I believe Washington was up or it was close.
Do you know what game Ohio State was trailing in the second half?
For like a second?
Yeah.
Was it the OU game?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and the point though that I don't see, I disagree with you a little bit because I'm taking in the totality and him about, yes, we don't know what they're going to be like.
No, they weren't actually, check that. They were not trailing against.
No, he was wrong. They were trailing going into the middle of the second quarter, toward the end of the second quarter versus Washington, and they ran that little underneath pass to Jeremiah Smith for a touchdown, and they won the middle 8, and that was the point of that game. But I go back to say this.
Yeah, they've never trailed the second.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, okay.
So why are we – but you go like, yes, as a coach, we don't know how they're going to respond down for 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We don't because we haven't seen it. But why are we going to make that to where that's to their detriment? As opposed to me, I look at it like they've handled their business and played in such a professional fashion that they haven't put themselves in that position to be there. That's kind of the other point of that. So, yeah, that's why I also believe that Ryan has been fanatical in all of the little things that he's done throughout this season. We're not where we want to be. We got to be 1% better. Our champion to grade out a champion has to go up. And Bob, just because he came out with it's 83% or whatever, every room has their own kind of champion level, right? Because of the things that are asked of them. And so that being said, I know we haven't been in that situation. I feel very confident about the guys that we have in the room to be able to overcome it. And though we don't know it, I go back to look how professional they have been to not put themselves in that position all season. That to me bodes more as to who they are versus what they haven't done.
Yeah, they've been very TCB, Schleggs, taking care of business.
And so somehow that is to their detriment.
Yeah. I mean, people want to say, like, Ohio University is a very good MAC team. Washington was ranked. They're hovering right on the edge. Illinois, when they play them, was ranked 17. Penn State fell apart, and that's not their fault. That was supposed to be your big game on your schedule. And obviously, you scheduled Texas in the non-con, and then you've got Michigan at the end of the year, which, I mean, that's going to be a test. It's a rivalry game, and it's a huge, huge deal. Let me ask you this, Schleggs. Did they trail against Tennessee last year?
Oh, man, I don't even – maybe for a blink of an eye. I don't even – No, it was like – if I'm not recalling, it was like bang, 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 like 21 zip.
Bingo. They did not trail against Tennessee. Did they trail at all against Oregon?
No, it was bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean?
Did they trail at all against
Texas? Was even. Texas was even. I remember it was. I
did
think
they trail?
It was 7. No, they don't. I don't know. No, didn't trail.
It was 14 all, and then Ohio State ripped off that touchdown. Trey ripped off that touchdown
Yeah, it was 14-all going into the deal. They had 25 seconds left, right? If I'm not mistaken, 75-yard screen pass because they never ran a screen pass all season. Why not now? Boom, to the house, and you won that. That's what you do.
And then against Notre Dame, did they trail?
I don't think so.
The answer is no as well. So Pat brought that up, and it was true as I was thinking through it. Like, I'm not going to hold that against them. It is tough because I played on a team, Schlegs. I juxtaposed that with a team in 2002 that we lived on the razor's edge because we weren't near as efficient on offense. Defensively, we were able to get it done. But this team clicks on all cylinders. And when the special teams are rolling and the offense is – the running game's going, this defense gets humming. They've got everything they need to be successful. And Ryan has done a tremendous job of making sure that those guys play really hard all the time. So that's one of their goals, be the hardest playing team in America because they have the talent. The talent will ultimately take care of itself. You need something that's going to take care of you. That's Export Mouthguards. Parents and athletes. Protect what matters most with Export Mouthguards, trusted by professional athletes, designed by NHL team dentists. Export Mouthguards, they're scientifically tested to help you absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. Export Mouthguards, they feature 3 layers of advanced protection, including a patented use of carbon fiber. They custom 3D print that bad boy right to your grill for more protection, better performance, max comfort, clear communication, so you focus on your game, not on your gear. Don't take chances with your safety. Visit exportguards.com/Bobby today and save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. You got more of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next. I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and doesn't taste like I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer. Welcome back into the Bobby Carpenter Show, and we love getting you fired up and getting stuff rolling. And with that, usually do it at the beginning of the show, but we wanted to talk a lot about UCLA. Wanted to make sure we're getting everybody hyped up there, the Dan Orlovsky stuff, and what was said there, and kind of explain that and talk about that. But we've got the Ohio State trailer. We've got a Thankful Thursday coming at you from our guy, Tim Walton. So here is the trailer. Volume 10 mentality.
Different. That's the chase. Being different in November. It's a choice. And I believe that. It's a choice. It all starts with your mentality. Eyes up here. The whole idea of this program is to pour it on the field for your brother. That's it. For the guy standing next to you. That's it. For 60 minutes, as hard as we can go. Hardest playing team in the country. It'll never change. Who controls how hard you play? We do. That's it.
Welcome to Columbus, Ohio. World famous Ohio State.
I keep on rising up to the throne. I won't stop fighting.
Here comes the
Nobody. Oh, man, he'll go down. Kenyatta Jackson into the open field goes Jackson.
Or intensity or hunger, make sure that they feel it.
Yeah,
More
what are you talking about?
More hunger, Schlegs. Make sure they feel it. You hyped up for the game now?
I'm always hyped up for the Buckeyes to play because he said it in there, and I've said it. It actually is a thing from the SEALs. It's fast, hard, and violent, and we talk about fast and violent all the time, and you condense it. But to Ryan's point, right, when you throw on the tape, you want to see the fastest, fastest, hardest playing, most violent team in the country. And to me, when you just roll the tape, regardless of who's out there, that's what you see. And so regardless of who the competition is, they've handled their business accordingly. And that's how I judge them. So go handle your business this week versus UCLA at night in the shoe.
Going to the game?
No. It's deer season, Bob.
You hunt deer at night?
Well, I get out of the deer woods and then I won't be there in time to like get to it. So I got to take my stuff off and drive up. And so I'm going to watch it from the couch with a fire.
It's all that deer
Pull a
piss on you?
Carpenter. No, I'll shower.
Okay.
Just soak it in estrus urine. Yeah, no. And I would say this, everybody, it's amazing. I want to just touch on the difference between fans, media, and like real football guys. Nobody cares about Rutgers coming up. Nobody's caring about the game right now. As an athlete, the number one thing is when you have a team like this, focus on the mission at hand. I think so many times people overcomplicate these things. And it's go out there and execute. If you're Ohio State, go out there and execute regardless of who's in the game. Because just like we talked about in the chat from last week, how do you get young guys in there? Handle your business versus a 3-6 UCLA team. When they come into your house, you're going to see a lot of rotations. Guys are going to go out there and get what they got to get in, and then you're going to see other people eat. But when they turn on the tape, regardless of who's out there, are they seeing the fastest, hardest playing, most violent team in the country? That's how you're going to be judged.
All right. Now, here's another way you're judged. They start talking about portal guys in the program, Schleichs, and
put this up. This is fantastic, Bob.
It's good because it goes to the bigger thing of when you go get portal guys, what your expectation is. And it said the transfer portal class, Ohio State, has been pretty underwhelming this season. And we can address some of the guys in different positions. And here's the other thing. Like Ohio State allocates the largest chunk, an overwhelming amount of its resources to its current roster. Like
Yes.
they're a development program. We're going to bring guys in high school. We're going to develop you. Now we're going to go to the portal if there's someone in there we think can help us, or maybe there's a position that we're a little unsure at, and we'll go in there and see what we can do. And sometimes you have to, quote, overpay. You maybe pay a premium to get a guy out of a portal because they've got a lot of options. I think Bo Atkinson, people have been all over him. Like, I think Bo Atkinson's been a productive player since he's been here. He's on a team with a lot of other great players. So him coming in here, I didn't think he was going to start, especially with Caden and Kenyatta. I thought he was coming in as a depth piece and a guy that was very versatile on the defensive line. I think he's proved to be that.
My question is, I like this, for the money spent on this group, they have not lived up to the expectation. What is that money?
Well, what was the expectation too?
I totally agree. And here's the thing too, guys. Sometimes you want to bring in because it creates even more of a competitive excellence that you might not be getting from people that are on your team because they're younger. And so you go get a guy like that, and guess what? What happens? Somebody has to step up and rise up because now they're being pushed from somebody else that potentially could be taking their job. Is that money well spent? In my opinion, yeah. And guess what? You need depth. The one thing that Ohio State has is they have a lot of depth, and they trust these guys. You see them go into games, and if something transpires that we saw last year where you have two starting offensive linemen, now you got guys that can come in, have been competing, have raised their level because of the competition that's within the building to where they can go out there and perform. I mean, look at –
Well, here's the thing.
His name just forgot me.
The example of that is Ethan Onyanwa. They brought him in. People thought he would be the left tackle. They end up putting Austin Serveld there, who has been one of the best left tackles in the Big Ten. Then they think, okay, they can play him at the right side. Brought in another transfer over there, Phillip Daniels. He's battling. He's played pretty well. He's had ups and downs, but I thought he's been pretty well. And then you also elevated Ian Moore last week, who went out there and played. So, like, you talk about the competition, you bring those guys in. Sometimes, Schleichs, it's just JIC, a just in case. You want to have depth because you don't necessarily know. And Ryan talked about this week in his press conference. You think you know what you have, but you're not really sure because you've never watched these guys do it. And over the course of the season, getting into those Tuesdays that are hyper competitive that you and I go and watch, they get ready. And then you're like, you know what? Let's turn these guys loose in the game and see what they can do.
Yeah. And you go look at, like, even Max Clare, the production from Purdue. Oh, he's not – guys, different. One ball, right? Good young running backs. I mean, unbelievable depth in the tight end room. Unbelievable depth and skill level at the wide receiver position. Guess what he's gotten better at? he's gotten better and more physical blocking because that's what you're going to have to do at the next level. We see guys that have longevity can block, but they can also run routes, and he's already really good at that. So let's enhance the weaknesses. But to your point of Ian Moore, like that was the one. I remember Ian because he was a freshman there in 24. Ian was a dude. He had the mentality, man. Like he had the mindset. And now you bring in a Phillip Daniels and you bring in an Ethan, and there's that competition on the right side. How do I go add value? What do I got to see, to be able to step up? And then he goes in, and nobody bats an eye that he's in the game because they trust him. And that's only if
Ryan said, he goes, when you're playing tackle and you're not getting talked about, that's a good thing.
Oh, my gosh. And to think that just is, we got a guy in a portal and he's automatically slotted. No, that is not Ohio State. And here's the other thing. All those guys that they brought in that you put on the sheet, those are guys that fit in the culture of Ohio State. So it's my expectation of it is how do you add value?
Yeah.
Whether it's on the field, competitive excellence, solid backup, starter, and how do you add value to the culture that's already existing?
Absolutely. Like Ethan Onyama is still adding value even though he's not playing much.
100%.
He's ready to play. You can put him out there. Other guys beat him out. That's a great thing. Guys you developed there and brought in. CJ Donaldson is doing the job that he was asked to do. He's not out there rushing for 1,500 yards, but that really wasn't what he was brought in to be. And so you're developing these other guys around them, and they're pushing other guys, and you have depth on your roster, which is never a bad thing. All right. Tell you about our friends at Backer. It's going to be great. But the next couple of weeks, it's going to be cold. We're going to be going on the road. You're going to have to be wearing stuff into the bowl games. Let me tell you about our friends over there at Backer. Brand new fan gear, bckr.com, premium Buckeye jackets and hats. They've got other Georgia, Oregon, working on Notre Dame, other teams. But listen, great Christmas gifts. They're phenomenal. They're premium quality. They look good. They feel great on you. They've got all the functionality and features that you're looking for, like the high-end fishing, golf, and hunting gear that's right there. Free shipping as well. So go lock in on it and use promo code all caps BOBBY at checkout to be able to get an extra 10% off. That's Backer, bckr.com. Go check them out. Everybody loves it. Schlegs and I do too. We got our headlines coming up next.
Customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
All right, we're going to race through our headlines here, but we got a couple of special ones for us to get to for you today. Legendary Buckeye himself. Going to be a bell ringer, Schlegs. Unbelievable. It's great. I mean, it's a huge honor to be able to get this one. They're putting up a statue for him later today outside the shot. Jerry Lucas, probably the best basketball player in Ohio State history. Nobody's done it better, probably since Lincoln. And he's been tremendous. He's an awesome dude, lives in Marietta, Ohio right now, and got a chance to talk with him a couple of times. My oldest son got a chance to meet him this year at the Pumpkin Festival down
Circleville, Roundtown?
No, not Pumpkin Festival. The what is it? It's in Jackson, Ohio. I forget what festival it is. Pumpkins in Circleville.
It's Roundtown, baby.
Yeah, that's Roundtown. This wasn't Roundtown though.
Our water tower is a pumpkin.
Yes, but this was not there. This was in Jackson, Ohio, and I can't think of what
Apple
it was.
Festival.
Apple Fest. Good job. The Apple Fest. He was there. He was awesome. Rode in the parade with us. But one of the best, Schlegs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, like, one of the best, great man, great human, well-deserved, and he's in Ohio. I'm an Ohio boy, right? Like, that's what it is. Put up a statue, awesome. Ring that bell, baby.
Won some NBA championships, just as good as you're going to find. Also this week, we talked about this, silver bullet of the week on defense. How about this?
Oh, yeah.
Our guy.
Give
the K-Mac attack. Look at him. Extra big, extra beefy.
Why am I not seeing more? I mean, the push for K-Mac to partner with McDonald's and the special Central Ohio branded Silver Bullet K-Mac special, however he likes it, that would be fantastic. That's what I'm.
Well, they said that they knew that you don't like the special sauce, so that's been something that's holding it back.
But maybe K-Mac has his own special sauce. I remember getting on a flight with him going back to Jacksonville, and it was him and Edric were on my flight, and we were like kind of sitting around each other, and I just felt terrible for the poor person that was sitting in the middle.
Oh yeah, dude. Edric is like big, but like K-Mac is just wide, dude.
Girthy.
He is a girthy.
He does not need a belt extender. He doesn't need a belt extender.
No, but his like shoulder broadness.
He's just
He's like a keg. Like if you like took a keg and just put it on, like gave it some arms and legs. Like he's just so thick and beefy. Awesome dude too. Awesome dude. And then finally, our guy Veli, very special at linebacker. The things he can do, Schlegs, the things he brings to the table, what he's been putting out there. We got audio on this too. I think we do.
There's audio. It's next.
Let's listen to Ryan talk about it.
About that much before. Here, just how does the skill set, the variety of it,
right? I mean, I'm trying to think if there's been somebody I've been around that has that type of a skill set, as talented as Arvell. Probably not. I mean, when Sonny's right there too. Both of those guys have that ability and that versatility, and I'd have to go back and think, but they're right there at the top.
Yeah, that's high praise, Bob, for a guy again that was behind some guys, but he needed this. This is where it's all about fits and opportunity. He needed the development. He needed the work. Right, came from edge, changed to linebacker. Sonny went from safety, came to linebacker. They needed that, and then you get them with the secret sauce of now this Buckeye defense and Matt Patricia, who definitely understands how to use the skill set of freaks like this to not only their benefit, but to the Buckeyes' benefit.
All right, and that is it for our headlines. Schlegs coming back. We've got some tailgate talk. We're answering a couple of really good questions that are sitting here in the chat before we wrap it up with our score and the dude of the week coming up on the Bobby Carpenter Show. I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer. All right, Schlegs. It's our tailgate talk now. And where was the one question? Here it is from Pete. ESPN said Julian's Maldonado said of ESPN said Julian can't win the Heisman because there's been no drama. Thoughts, Bob and Schlegs.
Yep.
All right, Schlegs. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he's the only guy that's thrown. I mean, his passing completion is over 80%. It might be 80.7, 80.9 through 9 games. Absolutely crazy. His stats, the deep ball, number 1 in the country. The dude is efficient. The dude does, what is he, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Has played at an elite level as a redshirt freshman here at Ohio State. No drama because it drives me crazy, the fact that people want the drama. Like, why can't we just appreciate the level of which he's doing what he does? Yeah. That's the hardest thing, because you can say, oh, you're throwing to 5-star receivers. Guys, you guys have seen, we've all seen 5-star guys and a quarterback can't get the ball to him. The guy just puts it on the money.
Absolutely. Another one coming. Who do you see starting where on the O-line this week? Do you think we hold Carnell out this game just to be safe? Interesting with that. I know they'll release the availability report I know Padilla didn't play last game. It wouldn't shock me if, he's not out there again. And heck, it wouldn't shock me if some of these guys aren't out there again for Rutgers. Schlegs. Maybe you may want to get him a little run. Like Carnell, if he's got like a soft tissue twinge, like is it really worth trying to put somebody out here for this week or even next? Maybe you want a little run next week heading into Michigan. What's most important is that they're healthy for that game. And then ultimately, playing, you're going to get 2 weeks off, Schlegs, and then you're basically going to be playing, or you have the Big Ten Championship, assuming they take care of business. And then you're going to be playing like every 8 or 9 days in high-level competition. So you've got to be ready to go. At this point right now, like if you've got to sit guys, it's not a big deal. So it wouldn't surprise me if you maybe see a little more Ian Moore. I think Philip Daniels will probably be back, but you might see some Ian Moore in there, and we'll see what they ultimately do at guard.
Yep. Completely agree. And I know we were short on time if you want to play the next one, Bob.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Thoughtful Thursday.
Oh, let's hit the Thoughtful Thursday. Go for it.
Here we go. This one is Thoughtful Thursdays. Learning from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes. The mistakes I made broke me to the core. Success came the same time that I was supposed to mature. You ever had a problem that was all your fault and your pride didn't let you admit that you're the reason that you lost? Now you're toxic to every person, every path that you cross. Keep making poor decisions. You know how much that'll cost? So fellas, you know how much it can affect your life by being around the wrong people that don't belong in your life, and you choose to ignore the ones that want to offer advice. It's your world, but the world don't talk to you nice. Keep learning from mistakes. You continue to grow. The ultimate goal is not to do this shit no more.
Ready?
There it is. Looking good.
Self-introspection, Bob.
That's it.
Big time deal.
We got our scores and Dude of the Week coming up next.
Passes up. He caught it. End zone. Touchdown.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
Welcome back in to the Bobby Carpenter Show, Schlegs. You got a score prediction for us?
Man, I did. I'm kind of leaning 42-10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 49-6.
I like that too.
Lean in with that. Both covers right there. Schlegs, what are you feeling about your Dude of the Week? Our Dude of the Week. I think there's
our Dude of the Week. I mean, here's today our Dude of the Week. Trevion Henderson last week. You can go ahead and show it on the clip. He had, I guess, 150 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Last night, dude had 62 yards rushing. He had 31 yards receiving, scored 3 touchdowns. And the guy, remember, he started his career with a 100-yard home run, kickoff return. Had some guys banged up, seen more workload. Dude's running hard, running fast, topped out at 22 miles an hour on one of those touchdown runs. And I sometimes I think that you guys maybe take that for granted. He's running 22 miles an hour with the ball and full pads.
Full pads in a game, it's not like you're just working to run there. Like he's doing that. It's incredibly impressive.
He's a 23-plus mile. Just so you guys know, he's like a 23 and a half mile an hour guy. He's fast. But some of the things that they were even talking about, Herbie brought it up, like he is running physical. And
yeah,
man, they got a really good thing going. Start with Mike Vrabel up there in New England.
Absolutely. Huge spread, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. First time a Patriot rookie has done that in the history there. We appreciate it today, guys. Stay locked in. We'll be back tomorrow, recapping the game, getting ready for Rutgers, but really we're looking 2 weeks ahead because we're allowed to do that here on the Bobby Carpenter Show.